Hey, Renee, Chris, and Ryan going live. Best podcast, Beauty and the Beast. Sit back and catch a vibe. Oh yeah, we talking zombies and apocalypses and all those things you like. Going beast mode, and if you didn't know, it's Peter Z up on the mic. Whoa, hey, TWD family, grab the snacks about the pantry. Subscribe and like if you can, please. Or those walkers eat you like some candy. Hey, okay. You at the right place at the right time. No one does it better, that's the bottom line. Beauty and the Beast, this is prime time. Let's go.
Wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it just be really weird if I hit the like where it says main guest, because we have no guest tonight? So wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah.
That's not set up for this.
Hello.
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 How's it going?
Helen Keller.
Let's not get started like that.
I'm a little loopy tonight. I apologize. This is called lack of sleep.
Well,
I got solid an hour and a half last night.
that's good. That's actually good.
That's a lot.
That's solid.
That's a lot. I should be thankful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you guys do that. I gotta have my sleep.
I don't know either. I'm working 3 jobs right now. I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Yeah.
I was just like, I had no idea what time it was. How's it going, guys? Just join our conversation.
We're just continuing from
I didn't
jump
even,
in.
everything.
I didn't even know what time it was.
It was 7:01. Chris goes, "Do we not hear the music anymore?" I go, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "Oh, right. I probably should start this."
When you text me, "Hey, bro, I'm on my way. I'm running a little late," or whatever you said.
Yeah.
I was like, it's already 6 o'clock. I'm still like working, training at the gym, and I'm like, I got you because I got KJ now.
Mm-hmm.
He comes 4 times a week.
Yeah.
So I train him at the gym, and I just like, he showed up late. My whole time schedule was off in my head today, like just off. And I'm like, holy shit, it's 6 o'clock already. And I'm like, KJ, we got to move these next 15 minutes. Let's go. You got 15 minutes of hard work ahead of you.
I was sweating it. I had a lot going on at work today, and this was like stuff that I could not step away from. And so I was like, it was like 5:15, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like we can take advantage of Pookie Moist. Well, what's going on, everybody? So, real quick, let's get
why is the chat not updating?
everybody's.
This is so frustrating.
It's probably delayed.
No, it's not delayed. I mean, this has been there a while.
Oh, this one? I thought you meant that one.
This one, not that one. This one. Why would anything go my way? Don't mind me. Just please carry on. I'll figure this out while I usually do.
I'm confused. I don't even know which one you're talking about now.
Oh, I know why it happened. Probably shouldn't close it out, should I?
Ryan's definitely having a day. Ryan's having a day. Now I'm really screwed because I can't see anybody or anything, and I don't know.
Keep talking. You're fine. Deal with it.
My eyes are searching for where to look. Where do I look? Yeah, what's everybody's like idea on episode 10? What did you guys think compared from episode 9, which was stellar in a lot of our opinions? Obviously it had its quirks. And then we went to episode 10, a little bit of a different pace. We got to see some people we haven't seen in a while. But yeah, what was like everyone's overall opinion of the episode? And then I think we're gonna do is like break down by character for the episode, kind of like go through each character of what the episode was like.
A safe way of handling it.
Yeah. So yeah, what was your overall feel of it? I mean, what'd you think?
I liked it. I thought it was interesting, and I liked seeing all the jobs everybody had. And definitely a different tone than the first one. We were very action packed for that first season or episode 9. So 10 kind of brought it back down, and everything. But I thought it was very interesting to see all the things they have in the Commonwealth, even though we've been told, oh, it's so progressive and this and that. It was good. It was fun to see that stuff. And I really enjoyed seeing the kids. I love seeing like Judith try cotton candy for the first time and, those kind of things. So that was kind of fun to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely interesting to see what everybody's up to. I guess what their daily life looks like now.
Yeah.
Who do you want to, Ryan? Who do you want to start with?
All right, let's make sure everything's working good.
Are we working good?
Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah.
Twitter, Facebook, we're all here.
Okay. Wow.
Everybody good?
Wow. We are here. We made it. I feel like we made it. We're off. We're not independent. We're not dependent on YouTube anymore.
It's crazy, isn't it?
We got hands in different games now. We're like a little bit in Facebook, a little bit in the Twitter world.
Now I just gotta wait for Restream to add a compatibility for Instagram. That would be
Ooh.
great.
Yeah.
It's not an option yet, but
Good old IG. So everybody says that obviously having Zay says love seeing Carol, more Carol.
I think a good person to start with would probably be Daryl though, because I think Daryl had out of everybody had probably the most happen to him in that episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think kind of start with the heavy hitter first and go from there.
Well, we all love the good morning exit from their apartments at the same time between
So
between him and Rosita.
So I made this point. It was actually really comical. Them coming out of their apartments, right? Or I guess you could call it an apartment. It looks like a shithole, but anyways, they come down the fire escape landing there, and they just kind of look at you like, "Hey neighbor," And all I could think about was the '90s TV show Full House, and hearing that theme song play, and just. And I at some point I probably will record that episode and just make a clip out of it because I think it's hysterical. But it's all I could get in my head.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it out of my head. Was that I'm just sitting there watching. I watched it. I actually backed up 3 times to watch it again, and I go,
"Morning, neighbor."
There's a '90s sitcom. It's Walking Dead. Like, what are we doing here?
That might have been kind of their angle too. Like, let's bring it back and let's dial it back to something of that nature.
Well, it seemed like aside from what happened in the woods with Sebastian and that whole thing, and then what happened in the team exercise, where they were working together or whatever, it did seem like they were trying very hard to show that the Commonwealth is kind of existing outside of reality right now.
Right.
That the world is falling apart, but the Commonwealth, one of their main selling points is that you can almost act as if the walkers are not a thing, as if the apocalypse has not happened, and we're going to return to life before the collapse or the fall, whatever the hell they call it. And I think that's what they were trying to really show, was that this is normal life like we know it.
Yeah.
And nothing has happened over the past 10 years, 11
right.
years, 12 years, whatever the hell it's been, you know what I mean? And that's what I think happened.
Yeah, I think that with the haunted house, they were using the walkers as a like just an exhibit kind of thing to show you that they're not, whatever, they're not scary. They're just, it's not a big deal. They were trying to just normalize that and make it just like, no big deal.
Right.
But then you have poor RJ and, Judith, who are, they know different than that, so that was
it took me a while too. When it first opened up, I'm watching the scene and I'm like, is this
why isn't Daryl doing something?
Why is Daryl just hanging out with Judy like that? Judith.
Jude.
Jude.
Yep.
Jude the dude. I don't know what that's about, but so yeah, Daryl, then obviously there's a chemistry between him and Mercer where Mercer definitely knows that Daryl is he knows he's real. Like, he knows he's the real deal. Like, he knows that he doesn't need this shit, but Daryl, he's basically faking it till he makes it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which we do, he does get his armor and because I think it was kind of cute with Jude walking around with the other little girl, and the other girl saying you don't have an allowance, and then she's got to go around to stepdad Daryl pretty much and be like,
Stepdaddy Daryl,
can I get an allowance? And he's like, let me get my job settled first. I'm like, that's so weird.
I gotta go buy my beer and cigarettes. And my scratchers.
Yeah, my scratchers.
My lava scratchers.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, and Rosita made that comment about how she said it's so weird to worry about money again, because it's been, 10, 11 years, whatever, that they haven't done that.
Yeah, the Commonwealth, we were talking in the pre-show, it's, they're trying to... You have a woman who is actually a leader at one point in the real world, with her husband, and she's trying to reinstill that, and bring that back. And it just, but having a monetary system in this kind of world, like, what is the money actually doing?
Well, it's almost like
you're paying people, but
money only has value for the backing that it has, you know, for whatever value you assign to it, you know what I mean? And so, I mean, you know, we used to have the gold standard. You know what I mean? That's no longer a thing. You know what I mean? Essentially now money is just whatever value that that our government says it has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, tomorrow the $1 bill could be worth a penny. You know, essentially is really how I see it. You know what I mean? So if they put stock in it, and that you can only buy goods or services with that money, then it has value again.
Yeah, but it brings me back to Daryl going through the subway and into that back alleyway he was in with all the drawings on the walls and seeing the fall of the wealthy, you know, and having the wealth back in this day, like in this community, you know, which we saw at the Halloween ball, you know, where we were we were talking in the pre-show, the one server saying, "Oh, mango, you know, like my kids will never get to have this."
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, it's a fucking mango. It grows on a tree. Trees they're in the free world. You know, like why? What do you mean your kid can't have a mango? And Magna like had this look on her face, like, "What? It's a same kind of thing. Like it's a mango. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Well, I feel like what we're seeing in the Commonwealth is kind of an extreme version of society as it is now. You know what I mean? And I think that's the comparison they're trying to make. Is that, you know, things that we would take for granted right now, to them, you know, it could be considered, you know, an elite or a high class item. You know, it's something like a mango. You know what I mean? I can go to ShopRite and buy, you know, $40 worth of mangoes, and I'll never need to touch a mango again in my life. But to them, you know, a mango could be worth $60. Because of supply and demand. So if there's no supply of ready supply of mangoes, it's a commodity. So at that point, it instantly has more value because the supply is low, but the demand is high.
And it's like, just like Pi said, creating poverty again. Surely nothing can go wrong. Like, we said this last week, and like we've been saying this for a while. Like, there's people who are in our group, Daryl, Carol, Rosita, people who know how to be behind the scenes and know what's going on. And there's always people who are looking for more, obviously. You're going to have an uprising.
Yeah.
We all know. If you don't feel it, if you don't know that this is going to go bad, it's going to go bad.
Yeah.
You know, like there's going to be an uprising. And that one guy, what was the character's name?
Tyler Davis.
Tyler, yeah.
Or Trooper. He was former Trooper
He's
Davis.
The one who got his ass kicked by Princess in the trailer.
Yeah.
Or in the
because that's how they
train
recognize him.
The
train car. Yeah, because Yumiko said, you know, Yumiko recognized it, like, wait a minute, and Princess goes, yeah, like I kicked his ass in the train car, you know, and that's what he got in trouble for.
Princess is the reason he lost his job as a trooper.
Right. Because he couldn't handle his captive.
He goes, you know, you make one mistake where, you know, with a prisoner, and I lost everything.
Yeah.
You know, I lost my apartment, I lost this, I lost that, and so it really does show it. But, you know, human nature is that you're always going to want to have one up on your neighbor. You know, not your neighbor per se, but you're always going to want something that's a proof of your status, whether that be a nice clothing, you know, in today's world, a cell phone, a car, a house, a TV, whatever have you. You always want to have one up on somebody. And so even you could be the nicest person in the world, but if you have something that somebody else doesn't, it instantly gives you some sense of whether it be accomplishment or satisfaction knowing that you have it, and not everybody does.
Right.
And so I think that's what we're seeing a huge scale of right now.
Divide,
exactly. And that's why I say it's an extreme version of what we're seeing in today's world. But I think that's only because the supply chain of things in the world is non-existent. So everything that is currently existing is all you're getting. I mean, yeah, you have like Eugene made bullets and shit like that during the Savior War and stuff like that, and you can make all this different stuff, but manufacturing is not the way it used to be. So things are not as readily available. So it's kind of like this extreme left and right that we're seeing, and so I think that's why it looks as extreme as it is. But it really is just a kind of an exaggeration of what we see in real life today.
And you know, one thing I really, you know, so we had a 30-day time jump here. So they've been there for 30 days. I think it's very interesting who they sent to the Commonwealth.
Right.
these are heavy hitters. These
Yeah.
are, you know what I mean? You still have Aaron. He's back at Alexandria. And you have Maggie. Obviously, she's at Hilltop from the the clip we saw. But I think it's very interesting who got sent to. You got Jerry, Ezekiel, Rosita, Daryl, Carol. These people who are, they're good fighters and good. They're smart and they're this and that. So I would like to know, how did they decide who came? Did they just volunteer, or was there like a meeting and they were like,
And that's what I want to know. Was there a meeting? So they show Lance show up. He does his little spiel, blah, blah, blah.
yeah. And then we're 30 days later.
Right. So it's like, was there like those town hall meetings they have, or Gabriel? And I feel like, the council.
Yep.
And I feel like what they did was, and obviously this is us forming our own opinion, but you took Daryl, seasoned veteran, tracker, woodsy, smart, like just, all around kind of like elementally smart about your surroundings. You send in Carol, who can blend in with anybody. She can become a nobody real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a dumb housewife. I bake
Yeah,
cookies.
whatever.
Yeah. Rosita has a military background, and then you have Gabriel, who obviously is just killing it, literally.
Yeah.
And being the man of the cloth. So why wouldn't they want someone who is a man of the cloth at the Commonwealth, And I feel like they took people from each part of the group who have their own specialty in doing what they do to find out what they need to find out in order for things to, you couldn't take Maggie and put her in this type of world right now.
No, not now.
She'd either end up murdering everybody, and getting caught and thrown in jail. Princess is the only one, and like obviously Ezekiel, Princess, Yumiko, all of them were there before.
Yeah, they were already there.
But Princess is very observant too. Super observant. We learned that about her.
Yeah. Like she knew everything about all those soldiers without, just watching them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's so to continue with Daryl though, he did have like his interaction with Sebastian.
Oh man.
Like they brought the weapons out to the field, and this clumsy fool picking up like the mace. I was waiting for him to like hit himself in the head.
Exactly.
What did he call the knife?
A toothpick.
A toothpick.
Yeah.
I was like, bro.
Judith's katana. He said it was a toothpick. Yeah.
Daryl could do more of that thing than you could ever do with a fully automatic weapon. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's lucky Daryl didn't turn that crossbow on him instead of the walker.
I was hoping.
I know.
Can we also talk about real quick, just because it's fresh in my mind, what a badass Rosita is? When they did the team, and she snapped off the leg of that walker, stabbed him with his own femur.
Fucking badass.
I was like, damn, she didn't have weapons, so she made one.
We actually, real quick, with Linda, I just saw one. So we talked about this with Carol finding the receipts. So Carol went to that liquor store, wherever they have in town or whatnot, whatever they use.
Yep.
Went rummaging through the receipts to see where wine had been delivered throughout the area. And I guess found this place that was very close by, outside the walls.
Yep.
And, I guess found some good red wine. I was a little annoyed that they had walkers in there in the wine store. I don't know. It just kind of, it felt extra.
It felt a little too convenient.
Yeah, like, I feel like she would have done this before even going into the building. I feel like they always clear the buildings.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I was kind of like, this is annoying.
And Carol's not a rookie by any mistake.
Yeah.
By any, stretch of the imagination. So, like, for her to do that, it was a little... It's just one of those things that, again, attention to detail. You know what I mean? I was like, could it have been possible that maybe she felt that because it was something that was controlled by the Commonwealth, that maybe she felt that it was cleared, and so maybe she let her guard down? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, you think about all the shit she's been through, and she's been probably the most consistent person who is an example of never get too comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's Carol.
Right.
And so for for her to just kind of have that simple-minded mistake, I don't buy it. Maybe Carol 11 seasons ago, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But not now. Yeah. I found that very hard to kind of palate. I don't know why, but I know why, but like it was weird.
Yeah.
Linda's saying, seriously, you think Lance was not outside the wall too? So here's my theory on Lance is that he's a pansy. He doesn't go anywhere without soldiers.
Correct.
Yep.
And I think he probably sent somebody to get the wine for him. I just don't see, like, I don't think he does anything, really.
No, and that's
So-
why. I mean, if you look the way Pamela treats him,
Yeah. Well, she definitely has like someone
There's a-
mentioned that
there's-
too
mhm.
about the way Pamela was with him, like kind of see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, almost like yeah, exactly. And she's almost like he, he's just beneath her. Like she.
Yeah.
I mean, she comes so her background basically, her family is like the Kennedys, is what they've
Mhm.
explained. Like that's what it's So her dad was the president, her uncle was in Congress, so she comes from that affluent family, a very political family, and so I think she just, she needs him for whatever she needs him for, but otherwise, I don't think she even,
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, I don't think she cares.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Linda that asked that question.
But yeah.
But yeah, valid question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's was it Linda the one who asked about? Okay.
So she just asked again. Yeah, she
Oh,
just said
okay.
it was her. Yeah, there maybe he's done something because we see clips of him being very angry. We haven't seen it played out yet. Maybe in the next episode, but like some of the teasers and things with him in it, he's got some pretty evil looking. Like at one time he's on the stairway with Eugene, and he is just like he looks pretty mean and things. And so I'm just wondering if he's made some mistakes and she's just really cautious, and that's why she keeps testing him because he's not living up to his job or something.
Right. It's possible. Yeah.
One thing that you said, Chris, that I kind of want to run back to because it's still something that like I don't get, right? They really did send their best people to the Commonwealth. I mean, and I don't mean just their best people overall. I mean their best fighters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at Daryl, Carol, Rosita, even Jerry. Jerry is a formidable soldier, and he's just an absolute tank. And you're gonna send him to the Commonwealth? I mean, who's left?
Well,
Yeah,
don't you think they have Commonwealth soldiers there? I mean,
think
if they have people doing the work.
Yeah, they have
You
people
would think
doing
that they
the
would give
work
soldiers too.
Yeah, I do.
to probably report to make sure the work is being done.
But that's
or
that's a lot of faith
Mm-hmm.
to put in a group that you don't know
Yeah.
into protecting your community.
And that's why I think there was a conversation before this. There was something, these guys, they're not dumb. They've been living out, they know all this. And so I think that's why I believe there was a conversation, like we've discussed. Yeah.
I mean, because you think about it from the community. I mean, who's left as far as soldiers? Negan, if he's there.
He's not there. I don't
It's been
think.
30 days though, so who knows?
Yeah. But we see him later in the woods still with some new people. There was a teaser clip and he's with a new girl. Yeah. So I think he meets a new group because Angela Kang has said there's still more new groups coming or I forget how she put it pretty vaguely, but she did insinuate there'll be another new group that gets introduced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, even then you got
Mhm.
Maggie, if she's
Yeah.
there, if she hasn't friggin' had a psychotic episode yet.
Yeah. Elijah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, and I think that
Saul.
Aaron. I feel like
there's-
he's not as great of a soldier.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a better politician.
Mm-hmm.
because he got one arm. Is that why?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Nice.
because Stumpy's got one arm.
Stumpy. Nice. Mm-hmm.
Must have missed that day of sensitivity training. Remember the time you and I had to take sensitivity training?
Sure.
You, me, and Flanagan's,
That was funny.
and Kent.
Sensitivity training.
Yeah,
the hospital
they're out
puts some
talking
of the
about
worst
Negan,
people.
and Negan will be back. Everybody, I keep seeing online that people think Negan's left the series. They never said he left the series, and
no.
he's in all the teasers. I'm like, he's out there somewhere doing something.
Negan's
We'll
playing
catch up with him.
a reverse Carol here. Where,
Yeah.
like she got banned and
She
then
got exiled,
yeah,
yeah.
He banned
exiled.
himself. Yeah.
So there's a lot of talk about Carol and Lance with
Mhm.
what's going on between those two,
Yeah.
and I just see Lance getting killed by Carol at some point.
He's gonna do something, and
Like everyone's asking, like, do you think that she trusts Lance? Do you think Lance will keep his promise and all that stuff? Do you think Carol even cares? Honestly, do you think Carol gives a shit if he's gonna keep a promise?
No, absolutely not.
no.
Do you think Carol even like Carol doesn't care
Yeah.
like
No.
at all. You know, it's just she's gonna get what she wants out of him, whether he keeps a promise or not.
Yeah.
She don't care.
Yeah.
She's already made up her mind. Carol already knows what she's doing 10 steps ahead. And that's like, we've learned that about her.
Yeah.
What's up, Dave? Enjoy. Be careful driving while you're listening.
Well, hopefully we got wifey helping you. So
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Carol doesn't care about him at all. About it. She doesn't. I don't even think it's crossed her mind on whether do I trust this guy?
Yeah.
Carol doesn't trust anybody.
She has an agenda, and she's
Yeah.
going to make sure to see it through.
Exactly.
she
To make
trusts
sure
Daryl,
Ezekiel
maybe.
doesn't die. Yeah.
I don't see. I don't think Carol needs Lance. Carol obviously wants to make sure that he follows through to help out a friend. We're going to talk about Ezekiel because we all have the same feeling about Ezekiel. If you pay attention to Ezekiel through this whole episode, what's the one main constant you notice from him? Go ahead.
Giving away his stuff.
Yeah, he's giving away personal items.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I was reading the chat. Now,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
one
he's saying goodbye. That's
Yeah.
his way of saying goodbye to everybody.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
not something, you know, like it started out in the beginning with Jerry's son giving away the collar and I think part of like the leash.
Yep.
So you know, it started with that. Then he ends up giving Carol Peter's box.
Henry's box.
Henry's box. He gives away one other item too, doesn't he? The collar box.
I thought it was just those, but maybe there was
it?
some.
I think it's
Just those two?
Yeah.
But yeah, but and they're things that are dear to him. I mean,
Right.
you know, Shiva, anything to do with Shiva was, you know,
Yeah.
and I thought that was a cool story that Jerry got that when Hilltop was burning, he said,
Yeah, he
right?
grabbed it.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool that Jerry did that for him.
Yeah.
I'm happy Jerry got some lines because I mean it's been very. I mean we saw him a little bit with the windmill and all that stuff.
Yeah. It was fun to see him with his whole family.
Yeah.
And see Nabila there.
Yeah,
too,
see
which is pretty
Nabila.
cool.
Yeah, she even had a line or two.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel as a whole, you know, Carol's going to go do all this work, and it might be too late. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know he's way past his death in the comics. So I mean, you know, does him dying on his own, you know, on his own account, you know, who knows when, but it's just a theme that like, you know, he's visiting people that he loves or, you know, considers his family, obviously, and he's giving away things that mean a lot. So like that just kind of, you know, it feels that it's just a goodbye, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people say how many kids. Yeah, I think it's 4 kids.
Because they have 3 that are running around and she's carrying one.
Yeah. Pi says Carol always plays behind the scenes, but it's not always worked. This time, if she fails, Ezekiel dies. I don't see that happening because unfortunately, I don't see him making it that long. Because the favor that she did with the wine wasn't one and done. You know, it wasn't like this is all you had to do.
She said, okay, what's next?
Right.
Yeah.
And this is where I feel like if he keeps stringing this out, favor after favor after favor, is where she's either just going to kill the dude with some poison cookies, you know, like, you know, and
or smother him in his sleep or something.
it's something like, I mean, you know, that's why I like she's already by the time this, because he's asked 2 favors, I believe, so far. And then as time keeps going by, you know, she's eventually going to be like, I've done this for you, you know, like my friend's time's running out kind of thing. And it's going to piss her off. And then she'll do something to take care of business.
Yeah.
You know,
She will get what she needs and she will tie up the loose end.
Linda says, I don't know who the real name of the actor who plays Sebastian, but bravo to him. I hate the character.
Yeah.
There's nobody. I don't think you could like that guy. You know, we were talking about Daryl with him at the episode where he captures what's the name again? Tyler, and hands him over.
Yep.
And, you know, and he's playing like it's like Daryl, you're playing like you want the kid to like you, like he doesn't like you,
No.
So you're trying to do this to save face, but why are you trying to save face with this kid?
Because what's going to happen is Mercer's not stupid. Mercer you could
Oh yeah,
tell,
Mercer knows. Yeah,
you could tell
Right.
from the minute that Mercer saw that Sebastian arrested Tyler, he was like,
he looked right at Daryl.
yeah, exactly. So he was like, no, he
knew.
knew what
Yeah.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, even I thought Pamela even made that look too, like.
I was
Nah.
Well,
just
did you
gonna
guys-
say that because she looked at Tyler and then she looked at Sebastian and she goes,
Like,
you know, good job, Sebastian. And the way she said it,
Mm-hmm.
like there
She
was an
didn't believe
awkward
it either.
pause.
Yeah.
And then she said it, and I'm like, no, she knows, and she would have seen, from her perspective, she probably would have seen Daryl walk out behind
Walking.
them
Right.
yeah,
and realize what happened. And Daryl knows that she's watching,
yeah.
and if she's not watching, Mercer is.
Hmm.
And I honestly think that this is part of his plan, and he's playing everybody like a friggin' fiddle,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to get in the governor's good graces. I don't know if maybe, you know, he gets assigned to the mayor or whatever, the mayor's detail. You know what I mean? And he's like one of her personal guards,
Yeah.
and that's how he gets in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe that's how he ends up at the wall of the hilltop. You know, because he becomes this trusted lieutenant of hers or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah. Right.
and that's what happens.
It's possible. I mean, we're just here to speculate, right?
No,
I mean,
that's
you
what
know.
we do, week in, week out.
Yeah.
Let me see.
But we tend to be more right than we are wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do
Mhm.
nail a
Yeah.
lot of stuff,
Yeah.
which
You
is
know?
nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to do that.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it feels good. Right in the heart area. Couldn't think for a minute.
Did you have a stroke? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Get him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
right?
God.
Do you smell burnt toast?
Pies? No.
All right.
Thankfully.
Well,
I wish I did. It would be amazing right now. I'm so hungry. I was eating animal crackers
that
in the
would not be.
pre-show.
That would not be good. If you smell burnt toast right now, there's a problem.
Yeah.
I'm calling 911.
Pie mentioned in Yuko's brother. Yeah, I don't know. The guy's very reluctant. He's trying to drink himself to death because he hates being in this type of atmosphere.
Yeah. He just wanted to bake his stuff and just live a quiet life.
Yeah.
He didn't want to
And
be in that position.
I don't think that her pushing him to be something more than what he is going to benefit her.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, like I don't know. It's just
It's not gonna benefit who?
it's not going to benefit her because she's the one who's, you know, pushing this kind of
Oh,
thing
yeah.
for him, you know, like,
Yep.
but it's just not.
Well, yeah, and it's her fault that he got caught because she's the
Yeah.
one that spilled the beans on him
Right.
when he was just trying to, you know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes because he would be the one who would do the surgery on Ezekiel. But if he's drinking like that, and
Yeah.
stuff, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I almost wonder too if there's and maybe we'll never get this answer, but it's more just pure curiosity than anything. What was the punishment for him lying?
Hmm.
I feel like the Commonwealth wouldn't have taken too kindly to that.
Mm,
Especially for a doctor, that's pretty vital
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
skill.
If you were a grocery store worker and you lied about,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, pushing carts. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a huge deal. But if you say that you're a baker and you bake cakes for a living, when actually you were like a neurosurgeon,
yeah.
that's a
That's a big-
huge that is a huge friggin' deal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, then they think about, okay, well, he's been here for a year and a half, 2 years, however long he's been
How many
here.
people could he have
How
saved?
many people could you have saved?
Hmm.
And so at that
Right.
point, is there some kind of restitution, some kind of punishment that he has to endure?
Hmm. Oh, I would think
from
so.
him?
Yeah. I mean, look at Eugene. He got in trouble for making a radio call. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So yeah. I bet there is some sort of punishment.
Yeah.
I almost feel like that would be kind of cool if that was like a conversation, like, you know, Yumiko keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and then he snaps and he goes, because of you, you know,
Yeah.
I have to do this. You know what I mean? I have to do community service for the next 16 years or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Maybe that's sorry. Okay.
And then Linda just mentioned how she said
Right
he's
in the
stupid
speaker.
because he saw Carol with the keys that she's not supposed to have in the files. But I don't think he cares. I mean, that's why he didn't say. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, hey,
yeah.
Carol." He just literally doesn't care, doesn't want to be there, and so he was like, "Go ahead, look at the files. What do I care?"
Hmm.
Yeah, especially because I honestly think that Carol was there to do more than just look at Ezekiel's file. I feel like that she's on this fact-finding mission
Sure.
to find everything she can about the Commonwealth
Mhm.
and how they and how maybe determine how they how they determine who is on what list. Is it about triaging? Is it about how severe your things are, or does it have to do with status?
Right.
Mhm.
Where
Yeah,
are you
which
on the
probably
social
is.
platform?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, is the guy who's the mayor's second cousin's nephew, does he get pushed above somebody who has
A
cancer
zookeeper.
like Ezekiel, who
Yeah.
might be middle class?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
And so maybe that's how Carol's trying to figure that out. Maybe I think she's trying to figure out more, and then Yumiko's brother shows up, and he's just like, okay,
Yeah.
like he just kind of took. It was a very weak explanation on Carol's part. He's like, all right,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, if you get caught, like, and they knew that you could have stopped it or reported it, and you didn't,
Right.
Right.
that's not only problems for you, that's problems for Yumiko too, because she's your sister.
Yeah. There's some Lucy saying that she doesn't trust the brother.
Mhm.
I think Pai's right too.
Yeah.
Yumiko's too comfortable. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, because
I know.
it,
Well, she's a lawyer, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like,
so
She's got a cushy gig, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Unless there's some kind of extenuating circumstance, someone who had a high status before the fall, who gets to retain that status post fall,
right.
it's very hard for them to not fall back into that and get comfortable, because guess what? You were living a life of comfort.
Yeah.
Pi says we're going to report him to the medical ethics board.
Yep. They
How
might
do I
have
ban
one of those. Who
Pi?
knows?
Can I do that?
No, that was funny. Yeah, I don't. So, and Zay says she doesn't really trust any of them at the Commonwealth, but she does trust Mercer. And like, I too, to a degree, I really do think that if anyone there knows the dirt, it's gonna be him because of his position.
Yep.
And it's just him having Daryl there now. I'm telling you, there's something brewing between these two, and maybe it's just you'll see more in the next episode of Mercer learning more about stuff that he disagrees with. It's the vaguest way I could put it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he follows his comic book story, because I don't want to ruin that for anybody, because they may follow that, and it will be interesting because there's some pretty vital things that he does in the comics.
Right.
So So.
And speaking of Mercer, this thing with Princess.
She's into him, dude.
No, but is she?
Yeah, she's been into him since the beginning.
Or is she playing the long game?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
now, because they're in a relationship in the comics, and I think even at the end they're together forever.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew they were together in the comics, but like
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, maybe she has some other thing going on, but I think I love how it just shows you Mercer also. So he follows the rules, except that night at the thing, it was almost like he threw it in their face, like, I'm going to bring this commoner to this event.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's not dressed how they want her to be. She's not on the list. And he's like, she's with me. So I loved how it was like, yeah, he's very structured and follows the rules, except then he was just kind of like, this will be fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, do you think that Mercer's going to kind of stick to his comic version, like kind of where he...
I mean,
I do. I think he is. I think that's what his play is.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the way things are.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way things are going, right. And I mean, if you look, when you look at Lance when he shows up.
Oh, and he
Mercer,
thinks they're all cheering.
Yeah, Mercer's right behind him, but he doesn't know it until he turns around and why everybody's cheering.
Mercer.
and this shit with Sebastian and fixing Daryl's collar.
What a little prick.
What a tool.
What a little prick.
I would have headbutted the little shit. You could imprison me for the rest of my life. I would sit there with a smile on my face.
Yeah. Yep. That was just too funny. So yeah,
and who was standing next to Daryl and was like, is he for real?
It was
Rosita.
Rosita.
She was like, he hates you.
Yeah, he smiled.
You.
Like, would she say he smiled? She said something about smiling at you and hating you at the same time.
Yeah, I forget what it was or something, but she said somebody hates you.
Yeah.
And speaking of Rosita, I just loved her in this episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was, yeah.
Very good.
But did you like are her and Gabe not together anymore?
I don't
Because
know because they
he
show
said
them
I'll come,
together at the beginning at the
but he says I'll come pick her up.
right.
And it was almost like co-parenting.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, and I thought, well, is it just because she's in the military, so she has to live in those crappy apartments during that time? But
Yeah.
Daryl has the kids with him, so then I'm like, did they break up? You know, because he said, well, I'll keep Coco overnight tonight, and she's like, oh, are you sure? So I didn't know what was up with that.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Best I could say is they're not, and it could be part of their plan. You know,
Yeah.
who knows? You know, like maybe they don't want them to know that they're together because he's a man
Yeah.
of the cloth. So who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so I mean that's a good point. You know, in this world where it's everything's supposed to be the way it was before the fall, you know, does he have to keep that relationship a secret? Because you know what's going to happen to him, you know, if they find out, does he get like excommunicated from the you know, from the church?
Yeah, and I wish we could have seen like some of the interrogating for them too.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like honestly that would have been really cool.
Like Daryl, I would love to see Daryl's onboarding interview.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine? What is your
As
first
Gabriel
name?
realized
Why do you want to know?
daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you do before the fall? None of your business.
Yeah.
I robbed people. Why? With my
I
brother
killed and skinned
Merle.
squirrels.
Yeah,
What did you do?
exactly. What does it matter to you?
Well, it doesn't matter what I do for people.
Flick his long hair. What does it matter what I did?
His greasy hair.
So
Maybe we'll
that's
get
what my
flashbacks.
husband said. He said, he's at the Commonwealth. Why didn't he take a shower?
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude, wash up already.
Yeah, well, you know,
He looked a little cleaner when he was with Judith.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
supposed to be like a paramilitary group, you know, and they're
Yeah.
supposed to be like police/military, and they don't have grooming standards.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to see Daryl with a shaved head.
Oh,
The military cut, yeah, absolutely.
Going
One
through
all round.
Yeah, I'm just going through the chat real quick to see what we got.
Here, feel free.
Oh no, that's
Let's
fine.
go through. Okay.
I'm just seeing what we got here.
Oh, okay.
I do wonder what Daryl said to them. He's pretty criminal. Yeah, he was. Yeah. I mean, me and my brother used to run drugs, whatever.
Yeah.
My bro Merle. I prefer him dirty. Can't stand the clean Daryl.
That's almost like when when they got to the CDC, and Rick like shaved and stuff like that and showered. That's all I could think of.
Yeah. Daryl's still rubbing squirrel pelts on his feet or some shit. I mean,
When there's Irish Spring, when you got a squirrel.
Someone mentioned the awkward moment between Magna and Yumiko.
Oh yeah, that was
and
awkward.
That was like tension, awkwardness,
Cold.
like cold. Yeah, cold.
Yeah.
Like,
And
Magna
did you
gave her
love
a
her-
look like.
Did you hear her little jab? She gives him the wine. She goes, "We hear it tastes really good," or so I forget exactly what she said, but she was like, "We hear it, like we're too underneath you to taste it, you know, or whatever."
Exactly. So and also with her too at the end with Rosita questioning her, and she's just kind of like, I don't know the dude, like why should I know him, kind of thing,
Right?
And, she's like,
I could see her being one that goes on that side though. She could, Magna. She's always kind of a loose, she's always got a short fuse and that kind of stuff. So I could see her being one that would go with the resistance or whatever.
Yeah, being resistance and just feeling slighted, I think, by what everybody else is doing. Like how did she end up in that role?
Because she was a waitress before.
But see, like I would have lied, man. I would have been like, I was a.
Well, they might not have understood. Like when you came in there, like they didn't talk to Eugene and all that. They probably didn't know that's what the plan was. They were just asking him all these questions, and then they assign you. Because even like Ezekiel and them, when they were like, oh, we're getting assigned like jobs that we used to do.
Right.
They didn't know that until they were assigned their jobs.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
I don't know. It just I like I might have just made it up. I don't know. Or I just been like, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. You don't remember what you did? No, I forgot.
No, I've been busy.
Yeah.
You know what I think of? You guys ever watch Dawn of the Dead, the remake?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what did you do? I saw TVs at Best Buy. Hey, officer, how do you feel about following a guy who sells TV? About as good as I feel following a guy who steals them. It's on.
Excuse me.
My pop culture references are on par tonight.
Renee?
You good?
Yeah.
You okay?
Just choking on water, no big deal.
It happens. Oh God, I was just gonna talk about something and it skipped my brain. Who are we on?
We were Magna, Yumiko.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't much to go off of with her.
Yeah.
And then I mean, you have Connie, who is reporting the news.
Hey, Michael.
She's now
hi, Michael.
with the newspaper.
Yeah.
Mike?
Well, yeah, to find out that
Michael.
she was one of them. That was interesting to find out that she got her Milton's uncle kicked out of Congress or whatever.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, Connie.
That was a cool kind of blink and you miss it kind of moment. But it was very, very cool to get a little piece of backstory.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I think it's just doing that because now the synopsis for the next episode says that she's going to start investigating that Tyler Davis. So I think it's just showing you that she's good at this, so she'll dig the dirt if there's dirt,
Yeah,
so.
And it was cool. Was it Carol? Who said it was oh, that was you?
Yeah, Carol did. Because Carol, she even said another thing. She said, I always thought she was so classy. And Daryl's like, I didn't know about Pamela. Mm-hmm. And Daryl goes, I didn't ever know who she was. And Carol goes, I read a lot of tabloids. Yeah. So she knew about her. Yeah.
That makes sense what you said, though, Renee, about kind of her family being like the Kennedys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
It's, so when Sebastian turns around and he yells at everybody at the party, he yells at Mercer at the party to go find him. He's like, go find him. The look of just pure disgust and who the F are you to tell me to do anything kind of thing. Oh my God, it was beautiful. Loved it. And of course Daryl finds the guy and then hands him over to the little weasel. Mm-hmm. It's just I don't know. I don't know. A trust building thing, maybe. He wants this kid to like him for some reason. I don't know. Or he wants him so he can get closer to his mother, maybe.
Or get on Mercer's good side.
Yeah, when they were out in the woods and whatever happened where he shot the walker with the arrow. Mm-hmm. He's like, why did you do that? Whatever. Mommy was in the background watching.
That's
she
why
was not happy.
He acted like that.
Yeah, and then he turned around and went running after her. Like, Mommy, did you see what the big mad
that guy did? Yeah.
What did Pamela? What did she have in her hands?
She was hunting. She had a bird.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, she had her shotgun too.
And she had the stereotypical rich people going hunting, boots and stuff and pants on.
Yeah.
It was like something out of a period drama movie where they have the people that load their guns and everything. I was like, who are you that you can't even do all this by yourself? You need 4 guards with you?
Yeah.
So you go get a bird?
Are going to come get you.
Yeah.
It was bizarre. I saw that there was something somebody was asking. Oh, Linda said, what do you think she has in her mind about Alexandria? She said to Lance.
She got some questions.
I think Alexandria is Lance's pet project kind of thing. And I bet she's just keeping tabs on him because she's like, what are you doing there? Because there was one clip in the teaser where it looks like she may visit Alexandria.
Right.
I saw one of the little promos. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's offered the supplies and he's offered the people to rebuild.
So she's probably just,
she probably wants to know what's being done.
Yeah, what resources are being given to these people who we don't know and everything.
What are they giving us in return?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. That's what Daryl's. Yeah.
And that's it. Are they gonna force the outer communities to use currency?
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you manage them?
Yeah.
Well, but they do have other communities, I believe. The 50,000 people don't live at this one. There is the way I understand it. There are other settlements or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know how that gets managed or whatever. I'm sure they just have people in charge to do it. But I thought it was interesting when Daryl asked the kids if they want to go back or they want to stay even after Alexandria is repaired. And the kids said yes, but I thought it was interesting that it's even a choice for them. I figured it'd be all or nothing kind of thing, but Daryl's comment made me think that there is a choice for them.
Yeah.
So.
I just sorry. I just this little scumbag pisses me off.
Mm.
He even rustles up his hair. I just know
Yeah.
like he rustles up his hair to go in there and like he actually like did
Like
something.
scuff them up.
Yeah. People comment about they're so accustomed to luxury that it doesn't even occur to them that they could just leave.
Mhm.
So, yeah, settle in Alexandria, maybe repopulate the kingdom. I mean, they haven't heard anything yet. The kingdom's done.
No, they're fixing Alexandria, and then somehow Maggie ends up at Hilltop from that clip.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she just goes off the rails by herself. I mean, there's other people. If you look at the background, there's a few other people milling about,
Right,
but
but
I
if
would
you
almost
notice,
wonder if it's defectors, that people
Yeah.
from the community that didn't want to
Right.
conform to the
Well-
Commonwealth and they leave.
because Lance
Yeah.
says it, I think he said maybe it's Carol he says it too about you can leave if you want to. He's like you
Yeah.
don't, like have to be here kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just wonder like how true that really is.
yeah, exactly.
Is that true? I mean, is it like a gang war?
Right,
Like,
because I feel
blood
like
in,
once
blood
you
out,
once
know?
you've been
Yeah.
inside the walls and
Yeah.
you've witnessed what's inside the walls, are you sure you're allowed to go?
Yeah,
Like
it doesn't feel safe.
yeah, like I don't know, it just doesn't sit right. And then you have what was going on with the envelopes afterwards, stuffing them with money.
Yeah,
Mm.
no idea. I mean, obviously that's something we're going to learn more about, but yeah, and they didn't want people seeing it because they were like, you need to go in.
You
Yeah,
have Carol the observer.
of course she's watching everything.
Yeah, she's
So,
telling you, man, she's just
well, what'd she say? Her mother told her to observe or whatever, and
yeah. I don't know. So, the guy who lost a job, he doesn't need to live in some cardboard shack, the outskirts of the Commonwealth. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, he has a sister, but I mean, because they said he has his family or whatever.
I mean,
Daryl, was like, he's like, do you have family or whatnot?
mhm.
I mean, this all brings up a really good point too, right? If the zombie apocalypse were to happen, and it's been like, let's say, just generically 10 years, right?
Mhm.
Because the timeline's kind of wonky.
Yeah,
But let's say generically it's been 10 years, right? And so you're starting to see populations of walkers dwindling. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like they're as abundant as they used to be.
Mhm.
That noise.
Something outside.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
And so now you're trying to look at like moving forward and getting back to life that was before the fall, right?
Mhm.
What kind of system do you set up? And I'm not saying that the Commonwealth is doing anything right, because I think that that elitist separation that they're seeing is not right in any way, shape, or form. But then that begs the question: what kind of society do you build?
Right.
What is the right way to go with that? You know what I mean? You kind of almost have to have some kind of structure, like economically, where you have a currency exchange for goods or services. You have to like kind of have paychecks where people have jobs and they get paid for doing those jobs, and that's what they use to buy goods or services. Because at that point in time, a barter system might not work appropriately. You know what I mean? So I don't want to get political, but like, I mean, like, but like, what's the perfect setup? Like, who's to determine what the perfect setup is?
Yeah.
Right.
You kind of have to elect a government. Elect a government that's for the people by the people. But
I just, anytime you instill money into a situation, though, you're
complicates
creating a hierarchy.
absolutely,
So it's just
Yeah.
like,
because then you inherently create statuses and classes and classism and elitism.
unless you were to take whatever currency you had and divided it absolutely equal between everybody, and then let it be up to that person who received the money,
Yep.
What they decided to do with it, how they spent it, what they did with it, but everybody would have the same amount of money, so that everyone was an equal. From that point on, what you did with your money would depend on where you end up in life.
Yeah.
But and honestly, I think if I had a situation like that, that's exactly how I would do it. Because why is this more for me and less for you and less for this person? If we're all here, let's just divvy it up equally and go about our business. Everyone starts off on the same, on the same level. if you level up because of your decisions and what you've done and however you've lived, that's on you. And if you've squandered it because who knows, and you were a closet alcoholic and you spent it all on booze, well then
Uh-huh.
now you're the town bum. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But then that also begs the question, right? That you're kind of talking about like a hybrid communism system, right? Or at least socialist system, right? But why should someone who does like brain surgery or heart surgery get paid the same as a person who is a
I'm
waiter?
saying, but
You
I'm
know what I
saying,
mean?
I'm saying to start the community.
Oh, just to start off.
Yeah, I'm saying if I were to start a community,
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what you did. This is just so everyone starts off the same way. That's it. If you get that money and you become a doctor in the community, that's your gig. Like that's what you do. So obviously you'll be wealthier than everybody else at one point. You know what I mean? But I think to start off the community, everybody gets their baseline money on, and it's no one else is different from anybody at that point in time.
Yeah. But then, like you said, you've already introduced money into it, so yeah, you got them on an even playing field as far as a starting point. But then you talk about like, let's say the doctor makes 20,000 a year because money is scarce right now. You know what I mean? They're not printing new money. They're not keeping up with it. So let's say a doctor makes 20,000 a year, but the waiter makes 3,000 a year.
Right.
So then within your first couple months, you're going to start seeing this huge divide in status.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to see a doctor has, $6,000, $5,000, whatever have you, for the first couple months of the year, and then the waiter has a couple hundred.
But does the waiter have an opportunity to go and learn how to become a doctor?
Yes, but then you have to set up like an education system.
All right. I mean,
and then a credentialing system, because do you want
well, you would have to go work with that doctor.
Yeah, exactly. You do have to like get a but my point is it brings up so many complications.
Sure.
And who is the person to determine what's right or what's wrong?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Again, not saying the Commonwealth is doing anything right, because I don't think they are, but it's such a complicated.
They're going to me. They're
situation.
going off of old politics. It just doesn't work. Like it's just old politics. It's old money becomes old money, and it goes into a family, and that family ends up inheriting the old money, and the old money is always there, and you're always in power.
They run everything. Then
it's career politics. That's what they do. So yeah, I just seeing Daryl in that get up though.
When with him and Judah standing in front of the mirror, he's like, "You look awesome." She goes, "You look official." You think? Daryl,
Yeah.
Come on.
But I thought it was interesting too. They obviously got their new apartment and everything.
Yeah.
Because he did that for Sebastian, so it shows, hey, he did this, so he did get, his status or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. Was that like a real thing? Was that really like you think like a thank you from Sebastian though?
Not Sebastian. I think Mercer. I think Mercer's in charge of that, and he.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because he would move people up in rank, because he said, I forget what he called it, the next step or whatever. Right. I don't know.
No,
I've never seen that Mercer and Stephanie are brother and sister. I've never heard
somebody said that, but I don't think we find that out. Oh, we do find that out. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, let's not. We don't want to talk about the next episode.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about this coming up. We don't want to talk about 11.
Yeah, we're talking new haunts. We don't want to talk Rogue Element.
Yeah. So, and it's not Stephanie. Well, how do I put this? It's not the Stephanie that we know is Stephanie. It's the
Max.
Stephanie that we don't know that's Stephanie. Capiche?
Look at the screen, not me.
Do you capiche what I'm saying there?
No, I don't.
So the Stephanie?
I haven't watched it yet.
I know, but this is how you can be vague. The Stephanie that's a Stephanie, who we know isn't a Stephanie. Follow me?
You literally spoiled it for me 55 minutes ago.
I did?
Yes.
I already forgot 55 minutes ago. I got hangry brain, okay?
It was like 85 minutes
I got hangry brain. So anyway, yeah,
65 minutes
that's are you going to keep counting? So yeah, that's something that we'll talk about later. Did the brothers and sisters and stuff like that. in the pre-show, we were talking about when they broke into Tyler's room, and they went into that back secret doorway
Lair.
that Rosita found.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look, I know that
She was like,
I know they've lived in some weird places, and obviously, like Alexandria, all the houses there had like whatever. So I guess for her to like go into this place and find the closet and then see something off in the closet to know that there was something behind that closet. I don't know. I mean, intuition, or maybe your military instinct kicking in, a sixth sense. I'm not sure really what it was, but she ends up popping the door, and we go into a little private room.
She just conveniently knew that was there.
That she just, yeah. And Renee, you were talking about some of the things that you were able to see in that room.
Yeah, so actually another podcast, and I can't think of who it is right now to give them credit for it. I'm sorry, but they were talking about some of the stencils. They were using those stencils to make some of those, obviously to probably those sign kind of things, and that one of them looked like a helicopter pilot. And so then they were saying that, kind of tying that to the CRM, because I mean, it only makes sense if the CRM it's on, we see them on Fear, we saw them on World Beyond. They're eventually, even if it's the very end, we're most likely going to see them on Walking Dead, as that's going to lead. I mean, that's most likely what the movies will be about, because that's where Rick is. And so they were saying there was like one of a tank and there was one of the helicopter pilot. So they were trying to tie that into the CRM. So whether they're kind of instigating the resistance or whatever, because I mean, the Commonwealth is huge. The CRM is huge. They have to know about each other.
Yeah.
So, and again, all speculation, but very interesting, theory, I thought. So.
Yeah. And that begs the question: is the CRM, are they planting seeds?
Yeah.
Rebellion? You know what I mean?
Yep. And that's kind of what he, I think, was alluding to. So it'll be interesting to see if that pans out. And why wouldn't they want to try to? They want to be the biggest thing, so they're going to try to take out the other one. So.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as like the scenes for next week, just to break that down for everybody, it's you basically you have Eugene. It looks like Stephanie's missing. He's got like
he's seeing her, like visions of her.
Yeah, I don't know, seeing visions of her, I guess, or vision of her disappearing.
Memories. Yeah, I didn't know if it was like a memory or yeah.
Somebody's getting arrested by somebody. You have Carol and Lance together again. Eugene and Princess are running from something or running towards something. So there's definitely, looks like there's a lot that goes on with next week's episode.
That was actually, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm looking at it now. That's kind of funny with the beginning scene with Daryl and RJ and Judith in the haunted house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy was pretending to be a walker.
And he's just like, all right,
okay,
man, enough.
Okay.
I mean,
it's like it's almost comical, because it's like 11 seasons ago. These are the things that we were afraid of. Not us, but them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of funny that they're almost mocking them now.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think Angela Kang said. Like, there's that insider thing at the end of the episode, and she was talking how that was kind of to show that the Commonwealth feels so safe, because that they kind of use that as kind of like, see, they're not that scary or whatever. Yeah. Kind of doing that because they are a very safe community.
Yeah.
Felt very out of place though.
Yeah. No, I agree, because like we talked in the pre-show about how we're like, wait, why isn't Daryl doing anything? There's all these walkers coming at the kids, Where's Judith and her little katana, and
he's got RJ and Judith in front of him.
Yeah. It's like, something's wrong here.
You are a terrible fucking uncle.
Good job, Uncle Daryl.
Next week, it looks like they're going to be concentrating on Eugene, of course, which we all know is going to drive me effing crazy.
It'll be it's going to be a fun podcast.
It's going to drive me absolutely knucking futz. And I'm going to probably want to punch the TV with his stupid, whining little crybaby face. Because Linda's already cranking me up. Pie's already saying that Linda's already saying that I'm going to hate Eugene. So I already know.
It's okay, Chris. Eugene can't hurt you anymore.
He can't hurt me, but he hurts the show. He hurts our people with his stupid knee-jerk reaction, little baby bullshit. Like, I just whatever.
Lucy, I see. You say stuff like that, it makes me think that you just like nerdy guys.
Poor Pickles.
Well, she was talking. She was talking about tearing up Rick too. So I think she's just Lucy.
Apparently, she has pickles that need to be tickling. So,
Lucy's just a very inappropriate person, I think.
No, I don't think we're gonna see Negan for probably. I'm gonna say we'll probably see Negan again around, what do you think, episode 15?
No, we'll see him. I think we'll see him in this chunk. I think we'll see him because he was in the teasers.
Yeah, but I mean, so this is episode 11 is this coming week. 12, 13. I think 14 or 15 we'll see him.
Oh, okay. I was counting too far ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
How many episodes of the season?
24.
Oh, that's right, because it's 3 parts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so
That's
this will
why I was
end on
thinking, I'm like, wait a
16
minute,
and
we're
then we'll
only
have
on.
the last 8.
Which
Yeah.
there's gonna be a how long of a break do we know?
Well, my speculation is they are going to go to Comic-Con in July again. I bet they will announce it in July. That's what they did last year. So they'll go to the last Comic-Con. This will be the big hoopla, last one Walking Dead goes to. Announce it possibly for August again, like they did last year. That's my theory, just because of last year, how it went last year. So last year it started like August 22nd was the first episode.
So
Actually, that makes sense because then you're talking about the season finale being somewhere near Halloween.
Yep.
Which is how it usually
And then you'd
started
have
off.
because then Fear would probably tag right on to that, starting its season 8th season then.
Which
So that's
is weird because that almost makes it like full circle because didn't Walking Dead start on Halloween?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't think
So to
that
have
would be
it
really
end-
cool if they timed. I don't know what is Halloween on. What day is Halloween on this year? That would be really cool.
If it was
But
on
I
a
don't.
Sunday. Tiff, what's up, Tiffy? Happy to see you
Wasn't
in
it
here.
just on Sunday this year? Or last year? I'm looking.
Happy
But
to
yeah,
see-
so that's Renee's speculation. So we'll
Okay.
see if it just kind of makes sense.
So because Lucy's talking about it, did you guys see the thing on Facebook that I shared and it was like you were innocent until this person corrupted you or whatever? And it's
I
like,
didn't
tag
see it.
your second at, and for me it was Lucy.
That's awesome because it's 100% accurate.
I was like, that is absolutely fitting.
So Halloween is on a Monday this year, but that'd
Okay.
be really cool if they timed it. They could do it on the 30th, just because it'd be cool. So.
Random.
Lucy, you make many lists. I will leave it at that. You absolutely do.
So I just want to catch up real. I don't want to finish series without meeting. Yeah, well, I don't think there's any real cons left to really go to.
I've met JDM.
Yeah, I mean we've met him. We didn't ever really get to like.
I met Norman walking past him as he was walking in.
Yeah, I got to meet Norman and get my picture with him, so that was cool.
Yeah.
We got to
He
meet
was super tired though, but
we got to meet him in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I met him in Chicago too.
Yep, that's when we told him we're like, hey, you're from we're from Poughkeepsie, and he was like, New York. I'm like, yeah. He goes, get the fuck out of here. I live in Pleasant Valley. Yeah, I know. Weird.
Yeah. Oh God.
Or Rhinebeck.
Yeah, Rhinebeck. Yeah.
Same shit.
But yeah, so next week is I'm sure there's gonna be a lot that grinds my guts. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Ryan, you didn't have anything that grind your guts for this episode? There's gotta be something.
So,
Well, besides Sebastian.
did we talk about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, the only thing that would be Daryl handing him over.
Yeah.
But did we talk about I know we talked about it in the pre-show, but did we talk about it in the show with the Carol walking into the friggin' wine store or the house with the wine?
Yeah, we talked about the walkers and all that.
With the walkers being there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That definitely grinds my guts because that was just like so day one amateur bullshit that Carol would never have done in a million years.
Yeah. No.
What else? Damn, I gotta do like a daily segment at the end or a weekly segment at the end.
Yeah. You have to start taking notes so you don't forget.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll just save the last couple minutes at the end for Ryan.
Probably says she had a lot of guts grinding.
I'm gonna have to talk to Jeff Celestino.
Next week we
And
discuss crybabies.
see if he can do a video for us that I could hit a button and play the video, and it's like what
Yeah.
really grinds my guts, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Because Jeff does a lot of graphic shit, doesn't he?
I'm sure we could find something where we
I
just
can't. I'm
add
not
a
doing
button.
that shit. You gonna do that shit?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we'll get Jeff.
All right. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of info out of the chat that I guess it's gonna piss me off. So,
Great.
yeah.
Can't wait to go on that soapbox.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a fun episode.
It's just I already know, but I'm just
He's already irritated.
we're overdue for a Eugene fuck up.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
fucked
for
up
sure.
since he showed up.
No, he fucks up every other episode.
Yeah, but
Which is basically when he appears.
he has been a fuck up
Yes.
since he showed up.
Yes.
He's a liar.
Yeah.
He should have got. I mean, he got his ass beat good, but he should have been. Like,
I won't say he's a liar. I think he's a manipulator. Like he manipulates the truth.
he lied. Lied about being a fucking a scientist and all this other bullshit. He lied.
He did what he had to do to survive.
I just watched the episode when it would have been the episode after the Abraham and Eugene and Rosita were introduced, when they're Abraham and Glenn are fighting, and then the walkers start coming out of the cornfield and the thing, and then Eugene grabs the gun and shoots the gas tank on the big truck, and the gas is leaking, and Abraham just stands there.
Mhm.
And all I thought about, that's Chris.
Yeah.
Every time Eugene says anything.
Oh, fucking hate him. I hate him. So yeah, Linda wants to see the crybaby Eugene face. All right.
Yeah, she said next week it's Chris's podcast. Ryan and I will just sit here.
Oh,
I'll just sit here and look pretty.
I'll just grab some popcorn and just sit here and listen.
I just this whole episode is going to just grind my fucking guts. Like I feel like I should just grind up all of 11 and just fucking just throw it in the trash because if it's starring that pathetic little fucking bastard, traitor, weak-spined crybaby.
Tell me more.
I got
Chris,
spine
tell
on
us how
that.
you really feel.
I got what happened?
Spinal.
I said, tell us how you really
Yeah,
feel.
exactly. Tell you how I really feel. I just I can't. I just
Whisper spinal into the mic, please.
spinal. Hush your gums. Listen, don't you have like I don't know a broom to ride somewhere? Like I mean, don't
Did
you
you
have
mean that like a witch rides a broom?
Yeah,
Or, okay.
yeah.
All right, well.
yeah? Wait. Pray tell, how many different ways have you seen a broom ridden?
That's Lucy. She's creative.
Oh my god. Linda says she watched it and all she could think about was me, like me and my reaction. Yeah. Okay. I'm stellar. Super excited. Super excited. All right, peeps. Well, we will get back to this next
Nope,
week.
Linda, you're not crazy. You're cray.
You're cray.
You're cray.
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 Well,
Cray,
cray is the thing. You can be cray.
Yep.
This is possible. Tiff, so happy to see you here. I'm sorry
Yeah.
you couldn't comment earlier, but
Yeah.
I'm happy you made it.
Yes, thank you for stopping in.
Yeah, come back next week where you get to see me murder Eugene in his episode, apparently. And Ryan will do his best to stand up for him.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I'm starting to see the light.
Oh, all right. Pookie,
I saw the light.
Pookie's on my side
No.
now.
Okay.
No?
What really grinds my guts? I did this at the end of last week, and I'll do it again.
Uh-huh.
That little swirly fuck. I'm sorry, but why in a million years did you think it was okay to march a solid chunk of their security forces right to your fucking community?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you had your concerns about them from the beginning.
Well, Eugene...
I'm actually white knuckling it because that's how pissed I am. Right
So
now.
you know how you always say, well, Eugene's got a plan, Eugene's got this, Eugene's that, right? Like you've said that before, right?
No,
you know,
this-
no, but I'm saying,
Yeah, but this time he was too far up Lance's ass.
yes.
He had
So-
his nose so far up his ass.
What I suggest is when you get home, if you can, when you go home, watch episode 11 because you're gonna see that pompous little smug fuck get a good dose of his own medicine. Am I right?
Maybe I need that.
Am I right? He gets a good dose. He gets a real good dose of his own shit. So, that's all I'm saying. I'm not ever going to have a mullet, Tiff. I know that they're back in style, but that is just a solid no.
Sorry, Pi. I was frustrated. I was deflecting my voice in other directions.
So yeah, we'll be back next week. I don't, we're still trying to hammer out some guests for the future. We're working on that. People are busy, which is always a good thing. But we are trying to reel them in, so we'll get some people back on soon.
I did just think of another person that we could reach out to, but I'll tell you guys afterwards.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's just because you did it to me, so I wanted to do it back to you.
I don't know, man. I'm part Italian. Use my hands.
Wait, what?
Yeah, use my hands.
What's the percentage on that one? 24 and me, or whatever the hell it's called? 24 and I?
What?
23 and me?
Ancestry?
24 and I.
24 and I. I'm fucking done.
All right.
Say good night to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
We'll
Be
see
safe.
guys.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Later. Peace.
Hey, Renee, Chris, and Ryan going live. Best podcast, Beauty and the Beast. Sit back and catch a vibe. Oh yeah, we talking zombies and apocalypses and all those things you like. Going beast mode, and if you didn't know, it's Peter Z up on the mic. Hey, TWD family, grab the snacks about the pantry and subscribe and like if you can, please. Or those walkers eat you like some candy. Hey, okay. You at the right place at the right time. No one does it better, that's the bottom line. Beauty and the Beast, this is prime time. Let's go.